issues. 26 deputies have submitted matters under Standing Order 29A, and the first of those selected has been Deputy Gino Kenny regarding compassionate access to cannabis-based medicines for certain conditions. Deputy Kenny.
Thanks,
you have 4 minutes, Deputy.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks for taking the question, Minister. Minister, as you know, Minister Harris met the parents of Ava Barry recently, and that you called for a review of cannabis-based medicines. Sativex is a cannabis-based product which has approved in 2014, but still is not available to MS sufferers. I understand your hands are tied up to a point at the existing law, but the upcoming Medicinal Cannabis Regulation Bill will deal with the long-term effects of the grey area of cannabis-based products. However, in the short term, I want to try and tie your hands by asking you to facilitate compassionate access under the exempt medical products, statutory instruments, or any other means by your disposal, particularly in the cases of children of Ava Barry and Ronan Gaynor. As you know, Ava is a 6-year-old child, a beautiful child, with Dravet syndrome, which involves intractable epilepsy with often dozens of seizures a day, a condition known to respond well to cannabis-based products. Ronan is a 4-year-old boy with a very rare form of brain tumour. It's called diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, a very rare and aggressive form of childhood cancer, involving severe pain and distress, which is responding to cannabis-based products. I ask you, Minister, if a recognised doctor to you on behalf of writes to you on behalf of Ava and Ronan to apply for permission to prescribe cannabis-based medicines, will you consider the doctor's application and ensure these children gain access to cannabis-based medicines which are medically needed? And finally, I would like to note the report by Mike Barnes, Professor Mike Barnes. His report was unanimous that medical cannabis has huge benefits, medical benefits for a whole range of illnesses. And we need to step into the 21st century in this country. The children like Ava and Ronan are at extremely difficult points of their life, their short life, and their parents. And these products can help. You know, the research is there, the data is there. We need to import these products under the guidance of a doctor to help these children. So I'm asking you, I'm pleading to you, because I'm the voice of them children here today and their parents. I'm asking you, will you help these children?
Thank you, Deputy Kenny. Mr. McGrath.
Cancora, first of all, I want to thank Deputy Gino Kenny for raising this very, very important issue. And I know it's something that he cares passionately about, and I share his concerns and I share his ideas as well. I very much appreciate the difficult situation that Ava and her family are in, and how painful it is for any parent to see their child suffering with a condition like this. I am also aware that many patients with a variety of medical conditions believe that cannabis should be a treatment option. However, with the exception of Sativex, cannabis-based preparations are not currently authorised as medicines in Ireland. Cannabis has not gone through the normal regulatory procedures for medicines, which are designed to protect patients and ensure treatments are supported by good evidence of their effectiveness. However, the Minister for Health is committed to urgently reviewing the policy of medicinal cannabis, and I support that position. He met with the parents of Ava Barry last week, and he updated them on his position. The Minister has requested that the Health Products Regulatory Authority, the HPRA, to provide him with expert advice on the issue of medicinal cannabis. The HPRA's statutory role is to protect and enhance health by regulating medicines and other health products. It has the necessary clinical and scientific expertise to advise to advise on this issue. The Minister has asked for a report on recent developments in the use of medicinal cannabis in other countries, including an overview of the emerging research. The HPRA may also propose changes to Irish legislation in relation to the use of cannabis for medicinal purposes. Separately, the Minister understands that the Joint Health Committee will also start to examine the issue of medicinal cannabis later this month. The Minister hopes to receive a report from the HPRA and the output from the Health Committee early in the new year. He will then be in a position to consider and progress any legislative changes that may be recommended. In the meantime, it must be emphasised that treatment options are a matter to be discussed between a patient, their carer and their doctor in the first instance. There are cannabis-based preparations intended for treatment of certain types of epilepsy, which are currently undergoing clinical trials. It may be possible, and this is one of the options that we should look at, for patients to access these products on an individual basis, but this is something for discussion with their own doctor. Cannabis-based preparations are strictly controlled under the Misuse of Drugs Act. However, it is open to the Minister to consider an application from an Irish registered doctor for a licence for such products for a named patient. The appropriateness of any particular treatment is a matter between the patient and their doctor, and the Minister has no role and would be entirely inappropriate for him to involve him in this process. My understanding is that many doctors would be quite cautious about recommending the cannabis-based treatment for a patient in the absence of robust clinical evidence which underpins authorised medicines. But I think the point I mentioned earlier on in relation to it's open to any doctor to make that application.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy.
We understand, Minister, that next week a doctor will go to visit Ava and Ronan. Ronan lives in Galway and Ava lives in West Cork. And the doctor will correspond with the Minister early next week, recommending cannabis-based products for Ronan and Ava. So hopefully, because these children can't really wait, they need these products as soon as possible. And hopefully the Minister will see sense and see common sense that these children need these products as soon as possible. And under licence, that doctor will prescribe that medication to these children with the guidance of their parents, and hopefully it will have medical benefits for these children that we're talking about. So I welcome this, and obviously it's up to the Minister, ultimately, what you're saying, to say, look, I'll grant that licence for these children. So over the next week, that's going to happen, and hopefully the Minister will look very favourably on that application. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
Yeah, and I think it's important to state as well that most of us want to do the best for the patients, and in this particular case, and the other cases that you mentioned, Deputy Ava Barry's case as well, that we need to do something to assist these patients, and that would be my personal priority as well. Because when you look at the availability of medicinal cannabis in certain countries, it's available in a number of countries like, for example, the Netherlands, the Czech Republic, Canada, Australia, Malta, Croatia. And I think that's already out there among the medical profession. But I think the key response in relation to this particular query is that the point that you directly raised, that it is possible for the Minister to consider granting a licence to an Irish registered doctor for a named patient. And just to say as well, no applications have been received from doctors in Ireland, and I understand from contacts with families that doctors are very reluctant to get involved. But if you have a situation that you mentioned today, that it is open to the Minister to consider granting a licence in relation to this issue. And I think that's the road we should go down. But again, I emphasise, it's not for us as politicians to interfere with the doctor-patient relationship, but absolutely there is a lot of sympathy for you on this issue. And also, I know as well, Deputy, that you published a private member's bill in late July, and this bill was providing for the establishment of the Medicinal Cannabis Regulation Authority. And this bill is also being considered by the officials. And the initial review is that there may be some amendments may have to be made. But the initial view is that we're seriously considering this legislation. But to go back to the specific case again, I think the door is open there for some sort of movement, and I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Minister. The